you hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Match 52, RCB, Gujarat Titans, who both had some time off this week after they played each other in Ahmedabad, where we saw a magnificent Will Jacks 100, and they now move to the Chinnaswamy, where we will see cricket again after almost 3 weeks. It's a big game for the Titans. Their playoff hopes are just fading away. RCB as well. Can they further inflict some misery? We find out as we look ahead on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by JBL. Mitch McClenaghan, Wasim, Jaffer. Let's start with Gujarat's troubles, Wasim, especially at the top of the order. It's just not working for the pace at which their top four are going. Their power play has been slow. Riddhiman Saha's out of form. We look at some numbers, but how do they address that at the ground's best batting, at the tournament's best batting ground?
Well, I think the form of Shubman Gill, you could say that the form of the team or the captaincy pressure has affected a little bit with Shubman Gill. Even Riddhiman Saha hasn't found form. Sai Sudarshan is not batting at the same strike rate that you want him to.
And that shows when the run rate is worst in the league. Sixes, they're down as well.
Yeah.
Fours, the lank is 10. So not a lot of boundaries.
Yeah.
Run rate is poor. Average
Their
is
number
okay.
4 has been a problem. They tried Shah Rukh Khan, which I thought was a smart move. But you need runs from the top 3. Even though Sai Sudarshan has scored runs, but Shubman is not looking at his elements. Riddhiman Saha, that's been the trouble. But I think if those two guys start scoring runs, you might see Gujarat Titans, coming back on track.
Yeah, Shah Rukh up the order was interesting. Can they do anything else with regards to personnel? Could they bring in a Matthew Wade at the top? Could they move on from Riddhiman Saha, who's had a tough season with a bat?
Yep, Matthew Wade's the best option. He's pretty much the only aggressive player they've got in their unit who could up the strike rate at the top and take some pressure off Shubman Gill. He's having to generate that strike rate at the top in that opening partnership, and then number 3, Sai Sudarshan, comes in, and it's no better for Shubman if he's in that partnership. So he needs someone who can generate a strike rate at the top for him, or they have to have that mindset that they are going to come out and dash. So take some pressure off Shubman at the top, because he's your man who you want to get a big score. And at the moment, he's having to force the strike rate more than his other opener.
I think it's Rashid, Noor are kind of a locked in. David Miller as well, and it's the 4th spot. They're picking Umar Zai over Matthew Wade, and that
They can easily change that up.
Yeah, and that's why Riddhiman Saha, if he doesn't get runs, it probably imbalances the squad.
Yeah, the only consideration here is you probably could play another overseas batter if you want. I know Noor and Rashid have been exceptional, but in this situation where you've got Sai Kishore, who's a good bowler, left arm spin against RCB, who have got a tendency to play poorly against left arm spin, maybe you could play him and Noor instead of playing the 3 spinners, because RCB went after them last game, didn't they? So the 3 spinners weren't as effective as they have been previously against other opposition. So you might want to not have to worry about bowling 12 overs of spin and only go with the 2 spinners and then bolster your batting lineup, because this RCB side, after the way Will Jacks played the other night, and they've stacked their batting, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
100%. That's a good point, that Rashid Khan and co were taken down in Ahmedabad, and that wasn't the only time Rashid Khan's been taken down. It's been a tough season for Gujarat Titans, premier spinner. He's one of the best in the world, but he had an injury coming into the tournament, and it's been a forgettable season so far. Average of 77, economy still decent in the 7s, but he's just not been among the wickets.
Yeah, that's the problem. Even though you can see that economy is much better than last year, but somehow I feel the batters are picking him really well. The way the batters are playing him, they're picking his googlies. He's not as effective, even though he's not conceding a lot of runs, but he's not picking wickets, which is again a problem for Gujarat Titans, because they haven't got Mohammad Shami, who was picking wickets for them, and obviously they missed out on some seamers. So yeah, Rashid's form has been also a concern for them.
Kohli's also played him quite well, as he did in the last game. And Kohli against spin is always a talking point. He himself has given his opinion on how that's gone. But what we saw in the last game was a Virat Kohli who was willing to play the big shots against spin. Now, if Titans once again go spin heavy in the form of Noor, Sai Kishore, Rashid Khan in the last game, Kohli did all right and more than all right against all 3 of them. 26 of 13 against Noor, took down Sai Kishore, gave the innings some impetus, and left it to Will Jacks to take down Rashid Khan. What it illustrated was the conversation on strike rate, which he himself dismissed to some degree. But if you look at how the first 9 games went versus that last Gujarat game, the balls per boundary was almost twice as good. So he was going after the bowling a lot quicker, and that strike rate shows of 180. See that continuing now?
Yeah, it tells you a lot, and I think we do see that continue, particularly in this game. He's coming off a good game against Gujarat Titans. I actually think Patidar's batting has had a massive effect on Kohli, not trying to steer through the innings. When your local batters are also in form, it doesn't have to worry about steering the team to the 16th, 17th over and then going, because Patidar against spin in the middle has been exceptional. So it's almost to the point where he can take a few more risks, which we saw in the last game. And if he gets out, he knows that Patidar is coming in, patted up next, and he's striking over 200 against spin this year. So, it's nice to have guys in form around you to take that pressure off.
RCB were on a bit of a roll. They picked up 2 crucial away wins, Hyderabad, which is not easy, we've seen, and at Ahmedabad. Now they return to the Chinnaswamy, where the record, it's hardly a home ground for them, or hardly home advantage. 1 win this season in 4, and they will finish the season with 3 games out of 4. So who's favourites for this one, RCB or GT?
I'm going to go RCB because I think they found a good brand of cricket. They found good 2 spinners, Karan and Swapnil Singh. I think he gives them, both of them gives them depth in the batting also, and give them a bit of control in the middle. And the batters are coming into form. So I'd probably go with RCB.
Mitch?
Yeah, RCB, easily.
All right, thank you very much to Mr. McClenaghan and Wasim Jaffer. That was our build-up to match 52, RCB against GT at the Chinnaswamy on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by JBL.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.